What's up, book nerds? I'm here to give a quick shout out to one of our favorite bookish small businesses, Well Read Candle Company. If you need your home or office to smell like your favorite book boyfriend or maybe your favorite small town vibe to get you through the day, you have to check them out. It's a woman owned business making some of the best bookish scents, and we are fully obsessed. We will link the website in the show notes, and don't forget to use code WhatTheSmut10 to save 10% on your order.
What's up, book nerds? Welcome to What the Smut Are You Talking About podcast. We are a weekly romance book podcast where we talk about books and chaos. So yeah, pretty much anything goes.
Join us as we talk about the books we are reading, what crazy shenanigans are happening in our lives, and who knows, we may have some fun guests drop by.
So grab your favorite snacky snack and your beverage of choice and come hang out and see what the smut we are talking about this week.
Welcome back, book nerds. Happy to have you here this week. We have a wonderful author joining us today with characters that come to play
In more ways than one.
happily evers that make you throw your Kindle and then hug it tight. We would like to welcome indie author and amazing human Lasairiona McMaster with us. Hi, Lasairiona.
Yay.
How you doing?
Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thank you.
How's your week been?
Stressful. We're trying to get a book over the line for editing next week, which you know about because you're in my document.
Yay! I live in it. I breathe in it. And I'm dying to one day go to Ireland for the sole purpose for us to meet in person.
I will pick you up at the airport. We can have margaritas.
I'm going to hide in her suitcase.
Bring it on. The more the merrier.
PSA so backed up, they won't notice, right?
No, they really won't.
This is already going to be one of our fun, most unhinged podcast listeners.
I don't know what gives you that impression. You're so demure.
You all are in for the ride of your life, and we are going to dive in to all things Lasairiona and us chiming in our unhinged comments along with it. So what are you currently drinking, and is it strong enough for this conversation?
I am drinking. I have two drinks. I have tea and I have Coke Zero, and neither of them are strong enough for this conversation. No. But I thought I would be on camera, so I didn't want to have like tequila next to me.
Judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone. Yeah.
Courtney, do you
What?
have more than your Diet Coke? I mean, I know what's in your cup.
Listen, it's a tragedy over in the Griffey household today because I ran out of Diet Coke last night and I'm suffering. So currently I have a Prime sitting here and I don't like it. It's like a berry flavor and I'm like, ugh, yeah.
Sound trombone.
Yeah, I know.
I am sipping on my tea. I have a nice cup of Earl Grey with some cream in it and a big heaping glass of water.
High quality
Sorry.
H2O.
Everyone keeps telling me to drink water. Yeah.
The thing you're supposed to drink? Yeah, I have.
Hey, I think the first ingredient in Diet Coke is water, right? So
Yes.
got
Yes.
some water
and you
in
use
it.
water to make tea. So yeah. Technically I'm drinking water too, Mary.
I have yet to meet a flavor of tea that I don't like. So,
I've met plenty.
I say the same thing about tacos.
Yes.
tacos.
I miss tacos. Yeah. I miss tacos.
Yeah.
I did at-home crunch wraps last night because I miss Mexican food. So I did a fake Taco Bell for my son.
Those looked amazing.
They were very good, but we don't have queso here, so it's really hard to. Yeah, I know. Pity me.
That just hurt my heart.
Courtney has an unhealthy obsession with queso, and she technically should not be consuming queso because both of us should not be eating dairy, and only one of us follows that rule.
I mean, if they told me I couldn't eat queso, I would say screw you too and just eat the damn queso. Cheese is life, bro.
I think it was last week I texted Mary and I was like, I'm going to get my taco and queso, so we'll see if it hurts my stomach or not.
And then an hour later, she's like, yeah, it still hurts.
Yeah, bury me
Totally
with
worth
queso,
it, though.
please. Yeah,
I love you. You are my people.
yeah. From tea to tacos in 3 minutes.
Lasairiona, on a scale of plotter to feral gremlin, what is your writing process like?
Well, I think it depends on who you ask because I started out as a feral gremlin. I just sat in front of the computer and wrote whatever came into my brain. And that resulted in me having to unpublish 12 books. So I then moved into I know. I know. Yeah, I know, Courtney. It's still painful. It's still tender. And then I moved into complete opposite end and I went full plot. But that didn't work either because my characters, when I started to write, were like, that's not my story. I don't know what the hell this is, but that's not what we want. So I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. If you ask Tracy, my co author, she will tell you I am a feral raccoon in a Word document. And she might not be wrong depending on the day, but generally speaking, I like to have some form of idea of where the story is going. And I do quite a lot of character work before I go in. So I like to know the characters pretty well. But once I'm in there, it's anybody's guess. Like all bets are off.
So, when did you make your jump from this writing thing is fun to, my gosh, this is now my whole personality?
When I was like 5 years old.
Yay! Love it.
I recently dug up all of my I don't know if you guys get a school report at the end of every year from your like teacher for the year and they give you like a breakdown of your grades and they write a little thing about like,
Yeah,
how you go in each
we
class.
we get our report cards.
Yes. So I recently dug out my report cards, and from the age of 5, it was she's got a great imagination. She tells good stories. And then whenever I went to college, I wrote my first book and put it on a shelf for, I want to say, 8 years, 9 years maybe. And when we moved back from living abroad, I found a copy of it and I transcribed it from paper onto my laptop and I sent it to a published friend. And I was like, is there anything here? Should I pursue this? And she was like, yes, not only do you need to publish this, but you need to write book 2 because I need the rest of the story. So it has always been in me to write and tell stories. And when I lived abroad, I wrote a blog about living abroad for like my friends and family to keep up with our lives because time zones and, technology wasn't amazing back then. Yeah, it's been part of me for as long as I can remember.
I have to know, in your opinion, Lasairona, who has been your easiest character to write?
Ooh, probably until recently, I would have said Justin and Savannah in Two for Interference, but
Hmm.
Xavier and Artemis fell from me like my upcoming hockey romance. Those characters have been waiting in the wings. So they're book 7 of this series. And I think whenever I sat down to write them, they were like, we've got this. We know what we wanted to do. I mean, Artemis did not give me his story when I wanted it because his was supposed to be published before book 6. So before his sister Athena. And he was like, no, 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 he wouldn't give me his story. So I had to change my publishing schedule and do Athena first. But once I sat down to write Artemis and Xavier, they were like, no, we've got this. Here's our story. And it was the easiest book I have ever written because it fell from me.
I can't wait for listeners to check it out. It is absolutely awesome. It has heart and laughter and maybe a little bit of tears if you're a crier, but it's exciting. I'm so excited for this one to be out in the world.
It was a lot of fun. And I think I gave myself permission to just write the book I wanted to write, not like it wasn't going to tick any boxes. I just needed to sit down, book 7 in the series, and just write the book that was in me. And when it came out, I was like, huh, okay, yeah, I like this. Because normally they're a pain in my ass. So I was quite glad that these two played ball.
That leads into the next question. Have you had a character just completely hijack a story?
Aries de la Peña in book 2 of this series. So Artemis's brother Aries. This is one of those situations where I had a full outline. I sat down for weeks and I planned his outline and I had scene by scene. I had what he was going to do. I had all of the tropes and I sat down to write chapter 1 and he tore it up in front of me and said, fuck this shit and flipped the table. He was like, no, I am not. That is whatever shit you thought that story was. That's not my story. This is my story. And he dragged me through by my hair and not in a fun way. It was not cool. And by the end of it, I was ready for the hills. I was like, I cannot, what just happened to me? And I think his book was one of the longest at the time that I had written. And I was like, I got to the end and I like bedraggled swamp witch who hadn't washed in a month. And it's like, what the fuck just happened to me? I don't understand. And then I had like this whole outline that his book was supposed to be. and the book that actually was, and the two did not marry up at all. The tropes all changed. Every single thing changed in that book because he was like, no, no, I don't like what you've got. This is my story. So yeah, that was fun.
What was your hardest story to write?
Okay, so there are two for different reasons. Athena's was hard to write, so book 6 of my hockey series, because of what she went through personally, her character went through. It was really hard to write. There are some triggers on that one. Plus, at that time, I had hurt my back and I was on medication and I was really in a low place. So, trying to find creative energy when you're already, for something that is hard to write, when you're already at a like depleted from with
Mhm.
your energy was quite hard. The other one, Fly Half, so Rhiannon and Robert, was really hard for me to write. It was my most recent release. It's an Irish women's rugby romance. And it is set here. And it's book 1 in a series. And every single thing I have known and written to date was changed with this book. So it went from male athletes to female athletes. It went from based in the US to written here in Northern Ireland. It went from college kids to grown ups, every single thing. So they say whenever you change and write a new series to change one thing. Like if it's written in one place, change it to another, but don't change everything at once. And I changed everything. And it was so hard. It was so hard. And then I got editorial feedback that was really hard. And I just shut down for 3 months. I couldn't function. I was
Ooh.
blocked. I couldn't do anything. So that one left scars on me.
That one, Courtney, has fake dating going on in it.
It does.
That's my Roman Empire. I will die on
Is
that
it?
hill. Yeah.
That's why I dropped that little nugget for her. I was like, fake
Yeah.
dating.
Fake dating. Yeah.
So, if readers are new to your stories, they definitely can expect so much emotion, but also laughter and banter and humor. It's definitely one of my things that I enjoy most when I pick up a book of yours.
Yeah. The emotional whiplash.
Yeah,
From laughter to sobbing in quarter of a
I know.
page.
What is a tiny detail that a reader may never notice, but you completely obsessed over?
I'll give you one that actually got me in trouble.
We live for the
So,
trouble.
and I've actually stopped doing it. And not intentionally stopped doing it, but I might have to go back and thread some in. Whenever I started writing, I would have had a book club or a hardcore reader in each of my series. And I would always name drop authors' books who I either know and really love or was reading at the time and I was really enjoying. I actually think it was in Aries' book. I dropped in, I think it was Pippa Grant I was reading at the time. And I dropped in her book, like, oh, this is what we're reading, or, some kind of a thing about whatever happened in the book. And I got pulled in. I know, don't read your reviews, but I read the reviews. And somebody was like, oh, and she copied Pippa on this, and she called her characters like Aries, and Pippa has an Aries, and yada, yada, yada. She's just straight up plagiarized this woman. And then she had the nerve to drop in the title and, whatever in the book. And I was like, what? So I went to my editor, who is Pippa's editor, and I was like, Jess, did I copy her book? Like, what? And she was like, no, I'm the editor of both of you. Like, do you not think I would have said, Lasairiona, you have plagiarized my friend's book, had that been the case? And I was like, yeah, I hope so. So yes, I got in trouble for my little nugget that I dropped in thinking I was great. Like, these are the books I love to read. And like, if you're done with my book, go read this great author's book. And then I got slammed for it.
It's so wild because you're not the first author to do that. Like, I can't tell you
No.
how many books I read where other authors drop other
Yeah.
authors' books is kind of like you said, a nod to them, like, hey, I'm enjoying this. I
Yeah.
want, my characters to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think if you like my
Yeah.
book, you might like this book too. Yeah.
Also, pick
It
up
did not go
any
well.
cowboy romance series right now and tell me, like, there's gonna be a Wilder in it. Like, that's, like, a popular name in cowboy romance, so that just makes
Yep.
0 sense. Like, people kill me.
I was like, what? My beloved little Easter egg that I've dropped into all of my books is now being shit on? Like, why should I not do that? And then my editor was like, stop reading your fucking reviews, Lasairiona.
She got you there. She
Uh-huh.
got you there.
She gets me everywhere.
What's the craziest thing you've had to Google for, research purposes?
For Liam and Rowan's book, so that's the mafia that you are alpha reading right now, I had to Google if somebody could still talk with their tongue cut out.
Yes.
I know. I know, I'm sorry. It's really
No,
unhinged.
no, that was I live for Unhinged. When I got to that section in the book, and if for anybody who is wondering, this is her co-write with Tracy Delaney. So we are dropping Easter eggs,
Yes.
listeners, on
Yes.
book
Somebody
two.
in book 2 will lose a tongue. And I Googled whether they could read it or speak or not. Because I'm not supposed to say stuff about this book. And I'm always like, oh, I'm so excited. Here, let me tell you everything. And she's like, for fuck's sake, would you shut up?
It gets us excited, and I'm sure we have just as many unhinged listeners who are down for a little torture, you know.
Oh, I'm here for it.
I love on your Instagram all of your different little sections of where you write. And I have to know, what is your snack of choice while you're writing?
I think it depends where I am. I don't tend to take snacks out with me. So every Monday I co-work with my friend Karina, who will soon be a published author, and I'm very proud of that. I'm like a proud mama bear. And
Yay!
we go to a local cafe and we start with a breakfast. So we have breakfast together and then we write and then we have lunch and then we write. So that's like staple every week. There's a place out the coast where I get hot chocolate or tea. But if I'm in my house, again, it depends on if somebody I know has recently been to the US or not. If they have been to the US, my snacks of choice tend to be hot tamales and Russell Stover mallows, the chocolate covered mallows, Dots pretzels if I want something that's savory, or like pita chips, because we don't have pita chips here unless we make them ourselves. So that tends to be I have like an American stash in my closet.
I love it.
My best friend Amber sent me a care package last week from Iowa, and there were 2 boxes of hot tamales in there. Like everything that comes into my house tends to have either a hot tamale tax or a Cheez-It tax for Lewis. He likes the New York cheddar Cheez-Its. So
Oh,
anybody who comes to the house or sends anything to the house tends to include either Cheez-Its, goldfish crackers, or hot tamales for me, or Russell Stover mallows. Those are my snacks of choice.
Well, if I could figure out how to send you queso, I would.
Yeah, yes. And you know what? I would put you in every single book for the rest of my life because I miss queso so much. I thought I found it yesterday at the store. I got it for the crunch wraps I was making, and it's a jar. It looks like a Tostitos jar of queso, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen this before. I'm going to take it home." And I was so excited. I was so excited I could have cried. And then I opened it and tried it, and it was like vinegar and sadness. And I was so upset. I was like, no, no, I would give my kidney for a jar of Tostitos right now.
my gosh.
Yeah. So queso is one thing I miss so much about living in Texas. So yes.
Oh, and they probably had great queso down there.
Yes. And we can't even get Velveeta
Yeah.
here to make like a
Why?
fake queso. No. Yeah. Why? You feel my pain, Courtney.
It's
Yeah.
just cheeses. Give them
I know.
cheese.
We have actual cheese, but we don't have like fake processed dippy cheese. Aside from people, Mexican food, Tex-Mex is one of the things I miss the most, and I will dream about it. And every now and then I will be like, do you know what? Let's just go to, there's a couple of places here that consider themselves to be Mexican or to serve Mexican food, and it's just not it. It is not. But every now and then I forget that it's not it, and I'm like, do you know what? I miss it so much. Let's go try it again. It might be it this time. And then I just cry. I'm like, I miss Texas. I miss queso. I miss chips and dip. I miss margaritas, on tap. I know first world
my
problems,
gosh.
but geez, my kingdom for some queso.
Okay, book nerds, a quick interruption for something that you might find useful. If your TBR is unhinged as mine, and you need a way to consume more books without quitting your day job, Audible will be your best friend. You can grab a free 30-day trial using the link in our show notes, which means you can listen to all the romance, fantasy, and morally gray men to your heart's desire. Perfect for your commute, your hot girl walk, or when you're pretending to be productive, but you're actually just listening to smut. And yes, audiobooks absolutely count as reading. I will die on that hill. So grab your free trial with our link in the show notes, and you can thank me later.
And I think this whole conversation just makes me think, I love how you wrote in the Cedar Rapids book with the Mexican restaurant.
Yes, because I'm homesick.
the-
I miss I just miss Mexican food. Do you know, if I had lived in the US now, instead of writing in a local cafe, I would find a Mexican restaurant and just eat chips and salsa and chips and queso all day while I wrote my books. That would be my snack of choice if I was back there.
It doesn't sound like a bad idea.
No, it doesn't, does it? In fact, now I need to buy a Mexican restaurant just so I can write books in it.
Author
New
goals,
goal.
readers.
Yes,
Author
new goal
goals.
unlocked. Yeah, buy my books so I can buy
Support-
queso.
Buy a Mexican restaurant so you can have all the queso whenever you want it.
Yes, yes. And it can be hot when it's brought to me.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh.
Queso and margs. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
This
I
was
love
supposed to be a
it so much.
podcast about my books, but it's about cheese and tequila instead.
So our first series that we're going to talk about is your Laharna Ravens. And so I made some notes for our listeners that these are three sisters who were born to play rugby and are playing rugby. But when it comes to finding romance and matters of the heart, they kind of suck.
Yeah, I think that comes from having a dad who played and coached rugby as well, right? Rugby is their whole lives. They haven't ever been allowed to do anything but play rugby. So the idea that there's something other than the sport that they were born to play is like, what? Why would you need anything outside of rugby? So I feel like they're just a little clueless.
Book one is out now. We mentioned it earlier, The Fly Half and the Fling. And it is also in KU for our listeners. And it covers a one night stand, fake dating, which we know is right up Court's alley, um, enemies to lovers, and there is a character with disability rep,
Yes.
also mental health rep, which
I was just going
I
to say there's
love
mental health too.
is Robert and Rhiannon.
She's a runaway bride.
She is a runaway bride, and which leads her into a one night stand with Robert. And she is the oldest sister. So I think that needs to be in there as
Yes.
well. Watching her find herself, I think, was probably one of my most favorite parts in this story because she is such a strong, fierce woman. And Robert just polishes that even more. He doesn't cage her. He shows her how strong and fierce she is through like a new lens. And I feel like watching her open her eyes to that and just grow through the story was one of my favorite parts.
Oh, you make it sound so lovely. All warm
It
and
is love.
fuzzy. I know, but when I write it, I'm like, oh, I hope nobody hates it. Like, did I do it justice? I'm the oldest daughter in my house. So I've got me, my younger sister, and my younger brother. And as an oldest daughter, writing an oldest daughter, that book was hard for me. And there was a lot of stuff that in the first draft did not make it onto the page. And I sent it to my editor and she was like, I know you think it's on there because you are high empathy, but it's not on the page. So the editing process was I had to add, I think it was like 14 or 15,000 words to that manuscript to actually get down what needed to be down. So I was like, did I do justice to the fact that she was the oldest daughter and the pressures that come with that as being, you know, in charge of the younger siblings or responsible for being a role model to people, you know? And then hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh, hashtag nailed it. I got a gold star from Mary.
Yes, 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 yes. And so book two is coming in 2027. So our listeners will have to wait a little bit, but that's because good things come to those who wait. The brief description we have is that it's one drunken night, no strings, and no consequences, except
Yes.
so many consequences.
Yes, it is brother's best friend. So I wanted to do a common trope for all three of these sisters. So the common trope is one night stand. So I wanted to get to the good stuff early in these books, the spicy times. So one night stand is the common trope for all three. So all three of these books will have a one night stand at some point. So book two, I've started to write it. I haven't put you in the document yet, but I've got about 7,500 words because this week these characters were like, we are not waiting a single second longer. Sit your ass in the chair and write these chapters down. I feel like I've peaked. I've hit the roof of my literary genius, and I don't know how to finish the book now because she walks in on him playing with her daughter and he's wearing a backwards ball cap and he's like holding the baby up and there's drool coming from the baby's mouth and he's not even flinching and her ovaries are just like, and I'm like, there is nowhere else to go from this. Like, that's it. They're going to marry now. The end.
That's the story.
She walks in, sees him with a backwards ball cap on, holding her VV, and then that's it. She just marries him right there in the living room.
That series I'm excited for. I can't wait for the other two sisters. And we have Splitting the D, and it releases May 21st. And this is, as you said before, the conclusion to your Cedar Rapids Raccoons series. They are rivals. It is definite found family. And Courtney, you're going to love this one. There is pie.
American Pie?
No, not American pie. Well,
I know.
I mean, we're getting close.
We get close.
We're getting
Yeah.
close. We get close.
We got close. Yeah.
There is definitely
Food is definitely it's like an extra character in this, right? It's the sexy additional character is the food in this one.
Yes,
I love
yes.
this.
The food becomes a love language.
Yes.
And so it is, as you mentioned before, it is an college hockey romance, but it is so much more than that. And I love being able to tease because, yes, I have read it. Yes, I already pre-ordered it. Yes, I'll read it again.
He'll order it in every form.
Order it in every form. But readers, they can definitely catch up with the beginning of Cedar Rapids. You have the little novella, Two for Tacos. So see, Courtney, here's our tacos again. We're all about the
Yes.
food.
Yes.
But there are a total of 12 stories.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do when my comfort series comes to an end. I'm going to have to actually work. I love this series so much. It's my comfort zone. It's like my binky. It's my binky. I love it. Oh, and there's another one coming out too in that. I've got my Ophelia and Megan, the Pie Girl.
Yes.
My
See the pie.
FF
Courtney, we're
novella
back.
is coming out in that series too. Yeah, more pie. See, food is my love language.
I love that.
Yeah.
A girl after my own heart.
Mm-hmm. You don't live in Texas and not come away with an obsession for pie and tacos and chips and queso. You just don't.
I love this so much.
So readers definitely be looking out for, it'll be on Amazon and KU, Splitting the D, which releases May 21st. Now we get to move, as if our whole first conversation wasn't unhinged enough. Now we get to move into our fun section of reading and unhinged thoughts. We're going to do our vibe check with tropes and stories. Why don't you take it off and tell us what you're reading this week?
Well, I started reading Sweet Spot by Stacey Hart because it just came out. Age gap, a good teach me moment. You know, I'm all about that. Workplace, grumpy sunshine. But as this episode was going on, I didn't realize, Lasairiona had multiple personalities and has a separate pen name. And
You found my
so-
BDSM stuff, didn't you?
Forgot to drop that in here, man, because it's so good.
She found my kink club. Yes, she did.
So I was on Audible seeing what was available, and I found a book, and it was like in part of Audible's like free program right now.
For our listeners, her alternate pen name is Lasairiona Lewis. So there you go.
That's where my Mafia lives and my Protocol series lives. Yeah.
I downloaded Control.
Yes.
It's free on Audible right now if you have the Audible subscription. Yeah, so I think I'm going to put a pause on Sweet Spot, and that's what I'm going to be
And listen
listening
to
today.
Thor. Yeah. You're
That
listening
one
to
was
Thor today.
so good.
Also, the cover artist, it's a male cover.
Victor. Yes. Victor's
Yes.
lovely.
I will mention this for Mary because I am a huge like trash TV person and Mary does not. He was on Love Island.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's an immediate download.
Yes. Click, click, click. Yes. You know how many people are dogging me to finish that series? And I know. Everyone wants it. And yes, that's fine. But also, I started the Mafia one. I need to finish one. This is what I'm saying. I have too many series.
Know how you do it. Oh, that's insane.
I cry a lot. Just ask Miri. If I'm not in her inbox once a week crying at her, then something's really wrong.
Truth, if I don't hear from her within a week, I'm normally dropping in her DMs and being like, hey, babe, you okay?
Yeah, poking me with a
Just
stick.
checking in.
Like, yeah. Why have you not had a Menti Bee this week?
But can't wait for you to listen to that Audible Court. You will have to let us know as you move along with it.
I want
Oh,
every single thought, Courtney. Every unhinged thought. Just drop in my DMs and give me it all.
Yes, I just Can't believe I haven't followed you yet on Instagram. I just followed you. I will give updates.
Yeah, people message and they're like, do you want to hear my thoughts about you? Yes, I do. I want to hear every single thought, unless you're being mean, in which case I don't need that. But, if you love it and you're like obsessively, completely unhinged, I will take every single thought you have.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, what about you, Mary? What are you reading?
We dropped that I am reading the Super Secret Squirrel Project.
Stolen Rebel.
I finished Hot Shot by Stacey Hart and moved on to Sweet Spot, which is totally different vibes. I've got the baseball sweet, sunshiny book, and then I'm like in a Google Doc of mafia and lost tongues. So
Completely deranged Irish man.
Love it. Love it.
that is what I am reading. What about you, Lasairiona? Anything you've been able to read or listen to?
There's a local influencer called Courtney, and she recommended a hockey romance series to me. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of hockeyed out. And she was like, trust me, I'm a professional. I started book 1 probably a week ago, and I am 75% of the way through book 4 as of right now. I am obsessed. It is the DC Stars by Chelsea Curdo. So book
Yes.
4, yes, you get it, Courtney. I could hear from your voice that you get it. So the book I'm reading right now is the hockey player and the trainer, and he loses a leg in an accident, and he has to essentially learn to be a version of himself that can't play hockey anymore. And it made me cry, and the last book made me cry, and book 2 made me cry, and book 1 made me cry. It is like, I don't know what Chelsea has put into these pages, but it is highly addictive. And they are, I think she was picked up by Trad, so she's going to have paperbacks published in the next couple of months, and I will buy. This is a series that I have bought on Kindle and I will buy on paperback for my shelf. And I don't have a lot of room, so I generally don't buy paperbacks unless they stick with me or speak to me. And this
Mhm.
series, Mary, when I tell you I am absolutely in. She writes such fiercely powerful women, and the men are just utter simps. And they have a book club and they have group texts, which I love.
Yes.
And it is funny. And I'm very particular about single parent romances. I find they're not as simple as just throwing a kid in for the plot. And she writes single parent really well. So I am her biggest fan. And I have been writing to her on threads and sending unhinged posts on my threads about her series, because I have turned into a screaming fangirl over this whole series. That's what I'm reading, and everybody in the whole world should read it too, because it is just
Say I
Chef's
haven't
kiss.
dove down into any of her stories before. So Courtney has mentioned it. So she's mentioned it before. She's like, you need to read these books.
Yes. And there's a crossover. So one of the women in the group chat is married to a football player. So I think I'll be going to the football series next. And I'm supposed to be reading a book for book club. And I'm like, screw that. I am in 100%.
Not
Book club can
happening.
wait. Yes. Yeah. It has taken over my entire personality.
I love that so much.
We all know by now that I'm not the biggest TV watcher. But Courtney, anything new that you're watching this week?
Week has been insane. I have not had any time to really watch anything. It's so sad, I know. I did get caught up on Summer House, so I finally got to watch last week's episode. But it left me on a cliffy. To be continued. Me. Yeah. So, unfortunately, no TV Rex this time.
I'm with you there this week. We had our final basketball season for my son. They lost in the semifinals, so that was kind of sad. But the 7th grade team actually won the championship this year. Our middle school hadn't won the championship for 7th or 8th grade. It's been a long time. And so it was really, really cool to watch their game this week and watch them win. It was a lot of fun. We caught up on The Rookie, which has Nathan Fillion in it, which is my Firefly captain that I am a huge fan of. So I guess one guilty pleasure, and I totally blame this one on my husband, even though he says it's me. We watch American Idol. So
Okay.
we are watching American Idol.
I haven't watched that in years. I watched Scarpetta.
Ooh,
No,
not that Scarpetta. See, you knew right where my mind went.
it is the same Scarpetta. It is based
Okay.
on Patricia Cornwell, which is why I
Okay.
was in. So it's Jamie Lee Curtis and oh my God, Nicole Kidman. And no, it's a no from me, I'm afraid.
Really?
Yeah. So what I didn't realize was the Scarpetta series was written on through COVID times. And at
Okay.
some point, it pivoted from the crime procedural, gritty, gory that the first books were to more
Mm-hmm.
like high thriller drama stuff. The series that they've made, it's an Amazon series. They seem to have written it more like a high drama thriller type thing with a lot of family drama. And like, I don't know how much you remember about the books, but the series starts with Marino, the detective, being married to her
Mm-hmm.
sister. And I'm like, no, yeah, I'm like, no, no. I watched all 8 episodes just so I could get a full picture of it, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. So that's a no.
Now I'm bummed that the TV show doesn't.
Me too. Avoid it. And then obviously I did another reheat for Heated Rivalry because that's part of my personality now
Oh,
too. I just keep
that
rewatching
show.
it.
So
Yeah, it
good.
changed my DNA. That show changed my DNA. And I also watched an
Yeah.
episode of something called Hollywood.
Ooh.
Post World War II Hollywood, aspiring actors and filmmakers do almost anything to make their showbiz dreams come true. It's on Netflix. Cole put it on one night when I was doing something else and we got sucked in. And I think we're on episode 3 or something. It was surprisingly good. And I'm not normally one to be sucked into like a post war anything, but it was really
Mm-hmm.
good. We will be finishing that.
Interesting. Now we get to move into our unhinged thoughts for the week, where we take our thoughts, no context, no logic, just vibes, and we unpack it like it's completely normal. So, Court, we're going to let you go with your unhinged thought because I have a feeling it is going to be met with resounding applause and agreement because I just read it in our notes.
It's really funny because food has been a very big topic of this episode. But my unhinged thought of the week is, why is it so hard deciding what to cook for dinner every night? Like, it's the hardest part of adulting. I would rather do anything else than try to figure out what's for dinner.
Truth.
Yes. Whether you have a fridge full of food or it's empty, there's still nothing to eat. Right? It doesn't matter if you have
Yes.
all of the food in the world. You just can't
Yes.
find something that you want to eat.
And I'm tired of eating spaghetti every week. We eat dino nuggies. I can't tell you how many times. I do love the tacos. We don't eat tacos enough. I don't know. Like, I've tried meal planning, but it's like I never heard of her. Like, I try it, but I never stick to it. So I'm going to try again this week. So knock on wood. Hopefully I stick with it. But with this being said, like, if anyone has any go-to favorite easy meals during the week, my DMs are open. Give me all your ideas.
Take away.
What about you, Mary? What's your unhinged thought of the week?
Mine's
She's
going to
giggling
sound so
before she's
bad.
even said it.
I know. So my unhinged thought of the week is, why can't people drive the speed limit? I'm not even talking about going over the speed limit. Simply driving the actual speed that is posted for the road. Like, nothing makes me road rage more than when I'm following somebody who's doing 10 or more under the speed. Like 35 miles an hour and you're doing 25, 55 miles an hour and you're doing 35. Why? Get off the road or I will push you off the road.
I refuse to go grocery shopping on Sundays just because of this.
Yes. Because not just on the roads, but in the aisles of the store too. You've got the people who are
Mhm.
on the road doing 10 under the speed limit, doing under the speed limit in the aisles as well. And they're just like, move.
And the people who take up the entire aisle
Yes.
of the
I tried to go
shopping
out
cart.
and round
Yes.
one on Friday and she took a sidestep to block me. I was like, bitch, don't you even. Today is
I will
not the day
push
and
you.
I am not the woman.
That's
will
when you
push
start
you
blaring
over.
Ludacris.
Yeah.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
I came really close, I will tell you. I messaged Colin and I was like, do you know what? I'm tapping out. I don't care if we have no food. I am done. I will go to jail if I don't get out of this.
So now that you've heard our slightly unhinged thoughts, Lasairiona, do you have one for us?
So my unhinged thought is, why are all of my thoughts since I turned 40 fucking unhinged? That is my unhinged thought, right? Every single thing in my brain, almost from the day I turned 40 last year, is fucking unhinged. And it's like, if people heard my inner monologue, I would be in prison or highly medicated more than I already am. Don't know what it is, but like, perimenopause has entered the building, right? And it is fucking shit. I feel like I am, honest to God, don't understand how like our mother's generation did it because they didn't have the internet to Google, is itchy ears a perimenopausal symptom? Do you know what I mean?
Which truth it is. Let's put that out there, listeners. Truth it is.
Just had to deal with all of these symptoms and probably be gaslit by their doctors because they're women, right? And they're eccentric and hysterical. It's like every single thought is unhinged, and every single day there's a new symptom. There's a new perimenopause symptom. And you'll love this one. Perimenopause has stolen my nouns. I have now become the master of charades. I will point at something and say, I need the thing that you use to eat cereal. And Colin Lewis will go, do you mean a spoon? Yes, that. I need that. Pass me that. Which would be funny if I wasn't an author and needed words every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Welcome to perimenopause, ladies.
Courtney gets a little reprieve from this. She gets to look forward this in a few years. I'm 42, so I'm right there with you. Right there with you,
Mary.
Lasairiona, on all of it because, hello, I've been in my feral 40s for 2 years now. So unhinged thoughts just run around like jumping gazelles through the fields of my mind.
It's almost like the filter that we had for the first 40 years of our lives just gives up at 40 and is like, I'm done. You're on
Yep.
your own now, woman. You go forth and just be unfiltered. And it's liberating, but it's also a bit like you don't need to say every thought out loud, Lasairiona.
There with you. It's like I'm a cross between Betty White
Yes.
and Sophia from the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to catch myself and I'm like, nobody wants that intrusive thought. Just chew your gum. Just
Yes.
keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I think whenever I've tied up some of these series, I might do a perimenopausal series and just have these 40-year-old women who just don't give a shit.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes. I
Like,
can't
I'm
tell you how many
done.
readers would be here for it.
Yeah. The things I've learned, like
Do
my scalp
it.
has gotten itchy. And I'm like, did my son bring home lice? Like, why is my scalp so itchy? No, it's a perimenopausal symptom. All right, then. That's game on. Do you know what? Fuck it.
I have found hair oil has been the best remedy for that.
Do you know what? If you told me right now to go and rub the blood of my enemies into my follicles on my head, I would do it just to get a break from scratching my scalp.
Fully understand.
Fully unhinged.
Fully unhinged.
I keep sending Colin reels, like Insta reels of like perimenopause stuff. And he's like, oh, you're not that bad. And I mean, no, this is a warning. This is what's coming. This is not me now, but this is in your future. And he's like, oh, okay.
Try having a 3 and a 5-year-old with all the noisy ass toys. I like literally,
No.
I want to take a baseball bat to some of them.
My kid is 12. His noise now is screaming down his headset on the Xbox. So they just get louder. They don't have the toys anymore, but they stay loud.
Oh my God.
They do. I mean, mine's 14. At that age, Court, I definitely would misplace some batteries. And I can tell you when we moved from our house and moved into the one we built, our son was 3-ish. And unfortunately, during the move, his entire box of Play-Doh just did not make the move. It went missing.
No.
He asked, he's like, I don't know where my Play-Doh went. And I'm like, I don't know either, honey. And yes, I
Landfill.
do. Yeah. Truth. Mommy threw it away. It was not coming into the house.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So our unhinged thoughts went wildly unhinged, but we are going to wrap things up. And listeners, if you have unhinged thoughts, please drop them below in the comments.
Make us feel better
On
about ourselves.
Instagram, make us feel better. If you're a perimenopause listener or a menopause listener or a postmenopause listener, we would love to hear your unhinged thoughts on the reality of what we just described. But we would like to give a huge thank you, Lasairiona, for you joining us. And we know that Splitting the D is the final book in Cedar Rapids Raccoons and comes out May 21st. Do you have any events that you are doing this year? I know
Not in the US. I have some in the UK, but I don't have any over there. I've got one in July, one in August, and one in October here.
wonderful. What's the one in July? Just in case we have listeners in the UK, you never know.
It's called Wonderland in Nottingham.
Ooh.
Yes. And then Indie LitCon is in August in Manchester. And then I'm doing Authors at the Armories for my 3rd year in a row in Leeds in the fall. So
Woohoo! Fun.
Fun fact, before I took my podcasting break, this podcast actually hit the top 200 in the UK Apple.
No way.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So it was very short-lived, but we did hit that.
Then all of your UK listeners need to come.
I know. We need to hit the top 100 in UK now. Like, that would be exciting.
Yes, let's make it happen.
Where can our listeners find you? We will drop links to your socials.
Behind them and behind them, watching over their shoulders.
I was going to say that's what he said, but
Yeah. They can find me everywhere. I'm on Insta. I'm doing more Insta lately. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok. Facebook reader group. So if you're still on one of the few on Facebook, then I have a Facebook reader group. I have a newsletter, which is oftentimes as unhinged as my unhinged thoughts.
love your newsletters.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. That's what she said. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Love it.
Well, thanks again for joining us. We have enjoyed our unhinged session and having you here with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's probably the one and only time you'll ever let me come back on here.
Never.
She's banned forever.
No,
She's on the
never.
no-fly list.
Never, 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 never. So,
I feel like Tacos and
now-
Tequila needs to sponsor us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If they would like to send me queso and tequila and taco, I'm here for it. I will take it all. If Old El
Awesome.
Paso wants to hook me up, I'm in.
In the meantime, you can catch us causing chaos over on Instagram at What the Smut Podcast and me personally at On Point Digital Service.
And I'm over on Instagram at Courtney Leanne. If you want to join us for a chat, there's a form linked in our notes, so be sure to fill that out because we would love to hear from you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving us a review. Reviews help other smut readers find us, and honestly, they make our chaotic hearts very.
And if you really love this podcast and want to show support, we've got a listener support link in our show notes. Supporters get shout outs, special giveaways, and maybe even some exclusive chaos you can't find anywhere else. We also have sponsorship opportunities as well.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.